First Church of the Holy Jackass.
The First Church of the Holy Jackass is not an actual religious institution that is legally recognized or subsidized with any taxpayer money. It is instead a one-person Setian religious art project and social initiative that is coordinated entirely by me, G.B. Marion, a priest of Set in the LV 426 tradition of Setianism. And I am here to offer a very different concept of religion than most people in the United States of America are familiar with. Dua Set, so mote it be. The First Church of the Holy Jackass is a devotional polytheist faith. While Set is the primary deity of this ministry, he is not the only one it reveres and holds dear. Some of the additional gods celebrated by this church are non-Egyptian as well. This is predicated on Set's role as an ambassador for the Necheru to other pantheons, as well as the historical tendency of his followings to blend themselves with foreign religious and esoteric traditions. None of this is to say that all Setians are obliged to revere these specific gods as much as I do, nor is this a definitive list of all the gods I acknowledge. These are just the 4 divinities in addition to Set who've had the greatest impact on me so far. Taweret, the Egyptian hippopotamus goddess, was once a female counterpart to the Isfet serpent, but she transformed herself into a deity who protects women and children, especially during childbirth. Her sacred animal is one of the deadliest creatures on earth, despite being an herbivore, and she is the only other Necher or Egyptian god who is powerful enough to restrain the power of Set as needed. The Egyptians channeled her ferocity by invoking Taweret for protection, especially when it came to mothers and little children. Midwives commonly used hippo statuettes to instill Taweret's strength in women who were giving birth. In this apotropaic role, Taweret is often paired with Bes, a monster-killing dwarf god who is similarly protective of women and babies. She additionally resembles the foreign deity Pazuzu, to whom I will return in just a moment. Taweret never had any temples or priesthoods of her own, that we presently know of at least. Hers was a purely folk tradition, kept alive by Egyptian peasants in their own homes. This is ironic, given that she is also linked with one of the largest and most important constellations in the northern sky, Draco, which the Egyptians viewed as a hippo rather than a snake. In Egyptian astronomical art, the Draco hippo holds a long chain by which the Big Dipper is tethered to Polaris, the North Star. Taweret is said to keep the Dipper restrained to prevent Set from completely destroying the universe whenever he becomes too angry. In this way, Taweret serves as a kind of buffer between Set and the other Necheru, and she is helped in this regard by the 4 sons of Horus, Tuamutef, Hapi, Imseti, and Kebshenuf. Fertility goddesses are often portrayed as beautiful, slender-bodied women, but Taweret is rotund with a gaping mouth full of razor-sharp teeth. She certainly isn't the kind of glamour girl one normally finds in pinup magazines, and I absolutely love her for this. Melek Taus is a Kurdish god who is worshipped by the Yazidi people. He is a solar divinity, the chief of 7 planetary gods who serve as deputies for a distant creator. His name means Peacock King, and he is iconographically portrayed as this species of bird, despite the absence of any peacocks in Iraq. In medieval times, a Sufi Muslim named Sheikh Adi ibn Musafir tried to convert the Yazidis to Islam and was one of the few people in their history to ever do so peacefully. They canonized him as a saint in their own religion instead, believing him to be Melek Taus incarnate. Pilgrimages to the tomb of Sheikh Adi in Lalesh continue to be an important practice in Yazidism today. In Yazidi myth, the creator commands the rest of his pantheon to worship human beings. All of the younger deities immediately obey, except for the Peacock King, who refuses to worship anyone but the creator. This parallels a story from the Quran in which Allah commands the angels and the jinn to prostrate themselves before Adam in the Garden of Eden, and he is defied by Iblis, the Islamic devil, who thinks jinn are superior to humans. The difference is that Melek Taus disobeys out of love, while Iblis disobeys out of hubris. Melek Taus is rewarded for his loyalty, while Iblis is punished for his arrogance. Melek Taus becomes his creator's regent, ruling the cosmos in his place, while Iblis becomes his creator's adversary, tempting souls into the flames of Jahannam. So the Peacock King is not comparable to Christian or Islamic concepts of the fallen angel at all. He is really a triumphant sun deity and demiurge, or a god who rules the cosmos but who isn't necessarily the supreme being. Ishtar is an Assyro-Babylonian warrior and fertility goddess who is associated with the planet Venus, both as the morning star and the evening star. In her iconography, she appears as a dark-haired woman with bird-like wings and feet, bearing a shield and weapons, sometimes standing on top of a lion. Not riding the lion, mind you, but standing on it. Ishtar steals the sacred powers of civilization from her uncle Ea with her trickery, and she gives these secrets to the first human beings. She intercedes for us when the gods almost drive us into extinction during the Great Flood. She descends into hell and rises from the grave. She creates the seasons. She punishes the tyrant king Gilgamesh. And she is capable of starting a zombie apocalypse whenever she wants. Ishtar is often linked with the whore of Babylon in the Bible, and her ancient Kadishtu, or holy women, are demonized as sacred prostitutes. In reality, Ishtar is more like a female Lucifer, an angel of light who rebels against her divine elders, but who more often succeeds at getting what she wants, even becoming the queen of heaven. And her Kadishtu were more like nuns, caring for orphans, healing the sick, and living monastic lives. They're only called sacred prostitutes because they were hideously sexualized by the men who wrote about them. When the worship of Ishtar spread to ancient Egypt, it was said that Set rescued her from a sea monster, and they became quite a pair afterwards. Pazuzu is the Assyro-Babylonian wind god, the king of the wind elementals. His holy icon resembles a bipedal winged panther with horns, a scorpion's tail, and a huge erect phallus. Pazuzu is terrifying and fierce, but only those who harm women and children need fear him. Misogyny and child abuse are total abominations to him, and he drives away predatory energies, mercilessly punishing abusers. Pazuzu's archenemy is Lamashtu, a vampire-like demon who delights in harming little children, especially newborns. I think Pazuzu is allied with similar Egyptian deities like Taweret and Bes, who both protect women and kids from evil, as well as with Set, whose role as the defender of Ra is a nice parallel. It's ironic that Pazuzu is so often portrayed as evil in movies like The Exorcist from 1973. since he is actually honored for exorcising evil spirits and has nothing to do with terrorizing kids. It's important to understand that I didn't just choose random deities from different pantheons here and throw them together all willy-nilly, as I have seen some people do. And while Set has had the greatest influence on this ministry, none of the additional gods described here are subservient to him by any means. This is not a hierarchy from some dusty old grimoire. It's more like when artists from different musical acts form supergroups with each other. And Set is the one who introduced me to these other divinities over the course of our long walk together. I figure this is because he wanted me to learn certain lessons from each of them. For me at least, Draco and the Big Dipper represent the center of heaven, with Set and Taweret being co-rulers of the northern sky. This is the symbolism I mean to evoke whenever I call Set the Prince of the Darkest Heavens, and whenever I call Taweret the Great Female. The Earth's axial precession is important to both of these gods in that it has caused the location of our celestial north to drift over thousands of years. Our current North Star is Polaris in Ursa Minor, but when the worship of Taweret was still young, the North Star was Thuban in Draco, the celestial hippo. This means the Great Female has a far greater role in the grand scheme of things than some might expect. So when I pray to Set and/or Taweret, I like to face north and gaze at Draco and Ursa Major while I do so. Melek Taus is probably my personal favorite solar deity. I first learned about him in high school about a year after coming to Set. I felt drawn to him because he, like Set, is so often Satanized, which has caused many horrific mass killings of Yazidis, as well as the abduction and enslavement of countless Yazidi women and girls by terrorists like the Islamic State. Yet Melek Taus is a gentle deity who is even described in his mythology as extinguishing the fires of hell with his tears of compassion for all people. He is not typically described as being wrathful or judgmental, but as being calm and all-embracing, even of people who aren't Yazidis. I figure Set and Melek Taus really like each other because they both care more about doing their cosmic jobs than they are in bullying everyone on Earth to worship them. When I pray to Melek Taus, I like to be outside facing the sun. Yazidism never went extinct, but survives as a living ethnic religion. It is a closed tradition as well, which means you can't become a Yazidi just by believing in Melek Taus, just as you can't become Jewish just by believing in Yahweh. So it's important for me to clarify that I am not a Yazidi myself, and I cannot speak for Yazidis. I am just a Setian who also happens to revere Melek Taus in addition to Set, and in my own way. I also care very much about helping Yazidi refugees who've emigrated to other countries like our own, and I'd like to encourage anyone listening to consider donating to the Free Yazidi Foundation, which is one of the leading Yazidi civil society organizations providing humanitarian support to Yazidi civilians across the world. For more information, please visit the FYF's website at freeyezidi.org. That's spelled FREEYEZID as in dog, I.org. I always feel moved to say a prayer to Ishtar whenever I can see Venus shining in the sky, whether at dawn or at dusk. I figure men all over the world need to repent, beg Ishtar for forgiveness, and treat women right, or else she might finally get tired of all our Gilgameshin and start up that zombie apocalypse any time now. And knowing her, she'll probably make all the zombies allergic to women so they'll just eat us menfolk. You might think I'm joking, but I'm dead fucking serious. Pazuzu is the most recent addition to my personal pantheon. I met him as an adult while coming to terms with some of my childhood trauma, and he helped me process these things and work to heal from them. For this, I am eternally grateful to him.
O Pazuzu, king of the demons of the wind, you who are furious, terrifying, and most splendid, please hear my humble prayer. The world denounces you as evil, yet you were there in ancient times, protecting women and children during the dangerous transition of birth. The world fears and loathes you, and yet you do not care, for the safety of the innocent is your utmost priority. Lord, I have seen things that should not be. I have seen the face of your dreaded nemesis. I have seen Lamashtu, and my soul bleeds from the cruelties by which she is known. I yearn for your strength, great Pazuzu, for I know in my heart of hearts that there is nothing you despise more than violence against the defenseless. Put me to your work, O divine exorcist. Help me to stand against Lamashtu whenever I must. Let me not be frozen in her gaze. Let me not be silenced by her defenders. Hail Pazuzu, so mote it be. Ishtar, the great goddess, lady of love and war, is exalted upon her throne in heaven. She rides her chariots of lions to war as Venus at dawn, and she beckons her lovers to bed as Venus at twilight. O Ishtar, radiant lady of heaven, we humbly beseech you, come forth and descend from your seat. Good it is to implore you, mighty Ishtar, for grace is in the oath by your name. Your beholding is favor, your command is light. Please bestow your blessings upon us. Command that we shall prosper. Faithfully behold us and receive our supplications. May we possess peace of heart. May your countenance be bright. May the spirits who come before you be propitious. May the spirits who follow you be propitious. Hail, Ishtar, so mote it be. All hail the Peacock King, the first of 7 angels, sing. Custodian of all this world, the earth is your entrusted pearl. You refused to worship man, devoted to your Maker's plan. And though you are by men maligned, you rule this cosmos for all time. O guiding light of Shigadi, your solar feathers flying free, help us all to understand this wayward beast, the ape called man. Hail Melek Taus, so mote it be. O Mama River Horse, great Taweret, thank you for turning against Ishtar. Thank you for upholding Ma'at. Thank you for nurturing and rejuvenating the weak and the defenseless. We worship you, O Lady of Heaven, O starry dragon of the northern sky, O Goddess of goddesses, giver of water, protector of life, guardian of every humble home. Send your nephew, Duamutef, to strengthen our stomachs, no matter what we must face. Send your nephew, Hapi, to strengthen our lungs, no matter what constricts us. Send your nephew, Imseti, to strengthen our livers, no matter what poisons us. Send your nephew, Kebshenuf, to strengthen our intestines, no matter what we must absorb. O Taweret, great female, instill within us your wisdom, your resilience, your relentlessness. Help us to make this world a better and safer place for those who come after us. Dua Taweret, so mote be.